The coronavirus pandemic has shocked the sports world. Yesterday, the NCAA announced that they will cancel both winter and spring sports immediately, meaning that Michigan's spring game will not happen. LSU got that gat in 2019-2020. Behind Joe Burrow's Heisman Trophy win and the nation's highest scoring offense, LSU finally emerged out of Alabama's shadows in the SEC West on their way to the national championship. After 20 months and $100 million in renovations, Welsh Ryan is now reopened to the public.
3, 2, 1.
Met by excited cheerleaders, a boisterous band, and an energetic Willie the Wildcat, Wildcats of all ages witnessed a historic event in Northwestern athletics. One big change is crowd size. 1,000 seats were taken out to make Welsh Ryan more wheelchair friendly, a feature lead donors Pat and Shirley Ryan especially wanted.
In the old arena, we had very narrow steps, steep, and no handrail. People didn't fall, but we saw several times very close calls.
Another new feature, the Wilson Club, offers an array of meals that are sure to leave your mouth watering after the first bite.
It's just a transformation.
Jim Phillips, Vice President for Athletics and Recreation, is confident the new Welsh Ryan will help the athletics program.
I think this is just the beginning because we haven't had a chance to recruit to it yet. We haven't been able to train in it yet. We haven't been able to do the things that I think you're going to see a facility of this magnitude will do for all of our programs.
The first official home game is on November 8th against New Orleans. According to the Michigan High School Athletic Association, there's been a sharp decline in the number of high school football players. Specifically, in the last decade, there's been a 24% drop-off compared to the previous decade. The women's tournament was a roller coaster from the opening serve as only one of the top 10 seeds made it out of the third round. Angelique Kerber demolished Serena Williams in straight sets to win her second Wimbledon championship. Kerber is now ranked the number 4 singles player in the world. 1 in every 8 U.S. women will be diagnosed with breast cancer during her life. This Saturday, the women's swim team took to the pool to help raise breast cancer awareness. Northwestern's purple and white turned pink for the swim team's Breaststroke for Breast Cancer fundraiser. Senior Catherine Sensman led the event and swims to honor her late grandmother.
I think this event shows that universities and institutions like Northwestern and also athletic communities really want to help. A lot of us have mothers and grandmothers who have been diagnosed with breast cancer.
Over 100 registered swimmers filled the Norris Aquatic Center. Outside the pool were both a homemade bake sale and silent auction for a signed Chris Collins basketball, Starbucks basket, and breast cancer-inspired artwork.
It makes me feel really good that the Northwestern community cares about more than just academics and athletics. We have club teams here, other varsity teams here, so it really shows a bond that we care about each other.
And that is the Northwestern difference. All of the proceeds will go to the Lynn Sage Cancer Foundation. Millie Rock on every block here in San Diego is absolute paradise on New Year's Eve. Let's get a change around 6 p.m. as rain will begin to drop down on the teams in the Holiday Bowl this year. Now that could give an advantage to Utah as they possess the best kicker in the country in Matt Gay. But hopefully this will not keep the Wildcats from getting their 9th win on the season. Many fans think a football game is won on the field or in the weight room. But it starts here, in the kitchen. The average adult male needs between 2,000 and 3,000 calories a day. In contrast, the average offensive lineman needs 6,500 calories a day just to maintain weight during training. In one of the biggest comebacks in Northwestern football history, the Cats clawed back to a 31-20 victory over the Utah Utes in this year's Holiday Bowl. The game really shifted in the third quarter off of a 86-yard fumble return for touchdown by safety Jared McGee.
I definitely can't take credit for anything that happened on that play other than running with the ball. Joe Guys with the great strip, something he's been doing all year long. And I just happened to be on the contain. I'm like, oh, ball, and I was able to, scoop it and take it to the house.
Quarterback Clayton Thorson completed passes to numerous receivers, including offensive lineman Trey Clark. Now, bigger picture, the Cats have won 9 games in 3 of the last 4 seasons, and most likely will finish in the top 25 of this year's rankings. The NBA is going through an international makeover. For a 6th consecutive year, over 100 international players were on opening night rosters. Just a year ago, the MVP, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Most Improved Player were all born outside of the United States. Travel, registration fees, equipment. These are the reasons why the cost of youth sports is so high. Some families spend upwards of 10% of their own gross income on youth sports alone. Eli Manning will officially put up his cleats and retire from the NFL after 16 years with the New York Giants. Manning, a two-time Super Bowl MVP, will finish in the top 10 all-time in passing yards and touchdown passes. But it is his .500 winning percentage that might just intercept his call to the Hall of Fame. Only 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks have a win percentage worse than Manning. Northwestern came out of the gates blazing, knocking off Purdue in its season opener. But after back-to-back losses, the Wildcats found themselves reeling a bit. The first chance at redemption, the Michigan Wolverines. Let's see how they did. Early in the first, Joe Gaziano and Ernest Brown, the fourth, combined for a sack on the shifty Shea Patterson for a huge third down stop. A few moments later, quarterback Clayton Thornton scores his first rushing touchdown of the season. Cats get on the board first, 7-0. Now, closing out the first, Charlie Kubander gets a chance to increase the lead from 45 yards out, and it's going. It's a career long for the sophomore, and it makes the Cats lead 10-0. Second quarter now. It's all Cats. Junior running back John Moten IV increases the lead to 17. We've got a ball game here, folks.